They want to be the most important thing in your life. I want to talk about something that I personally experienced myself is my kids telling me that my work is more important to them. This happened probably when my son was around 6 years old, and I believe my daughter was around 4. And my son would come down and see me on the computer because I have a home office. I like to work from home for that very reason, to be around my family. But he came down and he said, "Dad, can you come and do something?" I can't remember exactly what it was. And I said, "Yes, son, I'll be there. Just give me an hour and I'll be there." And he said, "Dad, your work is important, more important than us, isn't it?" And at that moment, I didn't really fully realize, it didn't register with me in terms of what he was actually saying, because my first reaction was, "Yes, son, you are very important to me, but my work is also very important because I pay the bills. I'm trying to provide for you guys. See, this house, this comes as a result of me working." And it wasn't until probably a few hours later when I actually sat back and I pulled myself out of work and I realized that probably wasn't the best response, because I was justifying the reasons for why he shouldn't feel that way. And as a father, as a parent, that's one of the things you definitely don't want to do, is you don't want to justify why your children shouldn't feel that way, because you always want to acknowledge their feelings. It's very important for their emotional health and their ability to bond with you, because if you dismiss their feelings, then they feel like they can't be authentic around you. In a lot of cases, they don't know how to decipher their own emotions, because then they think that their emotions aren't valid. And then they have a lot of problems later on in their years when it comes to their emotional health. And believe me, because there's been times in my life and with the individuals that I work with, for example, that has had to be addressed through therapy or whatever it may have been. But make sure that you acknowledge your children's feelings. And one of those feelings may be, yes, you are working hard, but it's showing up as your work is more important than your children. So for your kids, they want to be the most important thing in your life. And for good reason, because they are your children. They go to you for support, for protection, for love, for safety. And that's for the early years that they are in your household. That's very important that you show them that. And so as a father, I had to learn a very hard lesson then, that yes, I can continue to work hard, but I have to show my kids how important they are to me, and that my work is not as important to me as they are. And so I've had to change my approach now, where when they do come up to me while I'm working, unless I'm in a meeting, I do stop what I do and I look them right in the eyes and I say, "Yes, son," and ask them what they're looking for. And if they do want to play, then I come back to them and I say, if I'm not able to right away, then I give him a hug, I give him a kiss, I let him know, I tell him, "Son, you are very important to me, and I will be right there. I just have to finish this one thing. Give me 15 minutes or give me 1 hour, but I promise you I will be there, because I want to give you my undivided attention. You will get that." And then I give him my undivided attention. Again, that's the second very important point there. So the first one is you want to make sure that you acknowledge their feelings. And the second one is you want to be fully present with them, because if you are going to them, and this has happened to me as well, if you, after you've taken a break, you go up and start playing with them or interacting with them, and they know that you're not fully present, guess what? They're going to call you on your bluff. And what's worse is they may not call you, and they just might believe inside that Dad is just thinking about work, and he's just going to come and play with me and fake it and then go back to work. I've done that before, and I had to learn the hard way, because we can tell if someone is not fully present with us. And so for children are the most present, you can say, creatures on this planet, because they are fully engaged with what they do. And it's a lost art for us as adults. We need to be fully engaged with our children, because that is what life is all about. And I've worked with many men who, one of the common themes for them is they feel like they just missed out on their children's childhood, and they wish they could turn back the clock. We can't do that. Our children don't wait for us in terms of growing up. That's something that I heard from in a book, is that the children can't be put on hold. They continue to grow. And that really struck me, because that is absolutely true. Our children will continue to grow up, and we can't put them on pause while we're engrossed in our business, engrossed in our careers. And I can say this with absolute certainty, not just with myself, but many men who have been in this position and are more advanced in their years that come back and say they wish they would have done things differently. And that's not a place that you want to be in. So if your children are telling you or hinting at you that your work is more important, that's something to take into serious consideration. Because not only are they going to feel it, they're going to carry that for the rest of their lives, but you will feel it as well. And some point in time in your life, you may say, I regret having done that. I should have done things differently. And the whole purpose of this, you can say our channel here, is to give you the insight, to give you the tools, to give you the knowledge and the systems, real practical systems, and hopefully even some wisdom to avoid those pitfalls that many men before you have fallen into. And some of them have faced some real big challenges, and some of them haven't recovered. And so the whole purpose of this is to give you those insights so you don't have to make those same mistakes. And so I'm a firm believer that, yes, mistakes are very important, but why would you make the mistake, the same mistake that someone has done before you or ahead of you, when you don't have to? It's like driving down the street and you see the car ahead of you just hit a massive pothole and just basically break their friggin' axle, and you do the exact same thing. You drive right into it. Why would you do that? You've just seen someone else do that. You can easily swerve and avoid that and save your vehicle and save your butt by learning from someone else's challenges or mistakes. And so this is just a simple hint for you, is that your children are very, very important. I know you know that. It's just that sometimes we just don't know how to express that. And expressing that is very important, not only for our health later on, or even right now, but also our children's health. So hopefully you got some value from this, and hopefully that you're able to spend more time with your kids and give them the attention that they need.